My name is Evan Parker, and in 2019, I took a job at a mid-sized tech company in Seattle called Blue Ridge Data Systems. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid well, and after escaping a toxic workplace, I felt relieved. I didn't know I was walking into something far worse, something that would follow me long after I left the building. On my first day, everything felt normal, typical cubicles, over-caffeinated coworkers, and the faint hum of old fluorescent lights. But almost immediately, I sensed that someone was watching me. The feeling wasn't dramatic, just small glimpses of a dark silhouette vanishing behind cubicle corners whenever I turned my head. I tried to dismiss it as first-day nerves. Then HR introduced me to my work buddy, a man named Daniel Wyatt. He was assigned to help me settle in. But the moment he shook my hand, a cold chill ran up my arm. His skin felt ice cold, and his eyes didn't blink once. His face didn't twitch, didn't smile, didn't move at all. "You're in for a very interesting experience here," he whispered. I forced a laugh, but he didn't respond. He only stared. A few minutes later, my manager pulled me aside. "Hey, did Daniel talk to you already?" "Yeah," I said. "He's my work buddy, right?" My manager froze. Confusion flickered across his face, followed by something like fear. "I didn't assign him." I stood there, heartbeat picking up. "Maybe HR did?" He shook his head slowly. "They wouldn't. Not him." That was the first moment I felt something was wrong. But it would get worse, much worse. On the second week, I received a strange email. No sender. No signature. Just a list titled, "Rules for Surviving Blue Ridge." At first, I thought it was an office prank, but the rules were unsettling. 1. If you see Daniel after 6 p.m., leave the building immediately. Do not speak to him. Do not look at him. If your monitor flickers 3 times, do not check the server room. Notify HR. 3. Never stay in the bathroom if someone else is inside but standing completely still. 4. If you hear typing after everyone has gone home, do not investigate. 5. Always check the break room window reflection. If something is missing in it, leave immediately. I stared at the screen, throat dry. Everyone else in the office acted normal. No one mentioned the rules. After a few minutes of hesitation, I deleted the email. But the words lingered in my mind. Especially rule number 1. The mistake that nearly killed me happened during my 3rd week. I stayed late to finish a database migration. It was December, cold, rainy, and utterly black outside. The office felt hollow and unnervingly quiet. At about 7:10 p.m., my monitor flickered. Once. Twice. 3 times. My stomach dropped. I slowly turned toward the hallway. The server room was across from me, and I heard a sound coming from inside, soft clicking, like fingernails tapping metal. The email warned me not to check. But curiosity crushed common sense. When I opened the server room door, the lights were off. Only the soft blue glow of server racks lit the space. And then I saw him. Daniel. Standing dead center in the room, facing a server rack, his fingers tapping rapidly against the metal case. Not typing. More like searching. Feeling. His posture was perfectly still except for his long, twitching fingers. His head snapped toward me with unnatural speed. His eyes were huge, pupils so dilated they almost looked black. "You're not supposed to be here," he whispered. His voice was distorted, glitching like corrupted audio. I slammed the door and sprinted down the hall, grabbing my bag and running for the exit. I didn't stop until I reached my car. The next morning, the server room looked normal, lights bright, no sign of tapping. When I asked IT if Daniel was "Daniel hasn't been in server operations since 2016, one said. "He left after, actually, never mind." I pushed them. The older technician shook his head. "Just don't stay here at night. Trust me." People at Blue Ridge kept disappearing. Not quitting. Not transferring. Just gone. One day their desk would have coffee mugs, sticky notes, and half-eaten snacks. The next morning, completely cleared out. HR never announced anything. One afternoon, Michelle from HR pulled me into a conference room. Her eyes were swollen like she'd been crying. "You need to stop asking about Daniel," she whispered. "I haven't." "I know you have. Listen. You're new. You don't understand what he is." "What is he?" She swallowed hard. "We don't know exactly. Some say he's a glitch. Some say he's a presence. But he's been here longer than any of us. And once he notices you, it becomes very hard to leave." I went silent. "Did you get the rule email?" she asked. When I nodded, she covered her mouth. "Evan, those emails only go to people who are being watched." After that conversation, I became hyper-aware of the office environment. Everything felt wrong. The shadows felt thicker. The hallways felt colder. My cube felt smaller. And then the bathroom incident happened. Around 4 p.m. one day, I stepped inside to wash my hands. As I was drying them, a stall opened behind me. Shoes slid out. But the person didn't move. Didn't walk to the sink. Didn't say anything. They just stood perfectly still behind me. Slowly, I raised my eyes to the mirror. My reflection showed me the sinks, the tiles, but not the person behind me. The space behind me was empty in the reflection. But the shoes were still there. I didn't turn around. I didn't breathe. I walked out calmly but quickly. Just before I stepped into the hallway, I heard a slow, heavy exhale behind me. Then a whisper. "Don't look in the mirror too long." I broke into a sprint. A few weeks later, I finally cornered a long-time employee named Marcus in the parking lot. "You really want to know about Daniel?" he asked. "Yes." Marcus rubbed his face. "He was normal. Quiet. Nothing strange. But then he died." I froze. "Died?" "Heart attack. 8 years ago. They found his body near the break room early in the morning." I stared at him. "But I saw him. I've talked to him." "We all have," Marcus said quietly. "After he died." A cold breeze moved through the lot. He looked genuinely terrified. "No one he follows lasts longer than a year." "How long have you stayed?" "Too long," he whispered. "I'm leaving next week." 3 days later, Marcus didn't show up. His desk was cleared by lunchtime. One night, I went into the break room to refill my water bottle. The window above the sink reflected the room behind me. My reflection looked normal, but the doorway behind me was empty. In the reflection. In reality, Daniel was standing in it, watching silently. His presence was suffocating. I backed away slowly. He took one step forward. "You know," he whispered, "I used to be like you." His voice began glitching again, jittering like multiple audio files overlapping. "Do you know what this place does to people?" Something inside him twitched, something beneath his skin. I bolted out of the room. The next morning, HR called me urgently. But when I arrived, the office was empty. Lights off. Silence everywhere. On the HR manager's desk was a single sticky note. "He's getting closer. Leave. Do not say goodbye. Do not pack. Just leave." I grabbed my phone and ran for the exit, but the automatic doors wouldn't open. The office lights flickered violently. Footsteps echoed behind me, slow and deliberate. I ran to the stairwell. The stairwell was pitch black. The kind of darkness that feels alive. I could barely breathe as I made my way down, gripping the railing. Halfway down, I heard tapping above me, nails clicking on metal. Closer. Faster. I sprinted, dropping several steps at once, nearly falling as I burst into the lobby. Darkness. Except for the faint light behind me. And in that glow stood Daniel. His silhouette still. His head tilted. "Why are you leaving?" he asked, voice warping. "Everyone leaves. And I have to stay. Always. Alone." I backed away, trembling. "Please. Just let me go." His jaw clicked. His eyes widened unnaturally. You already belong to this place. Then his face split into an impossible, stretching grin. The skin around his mouth tearing as something inside him pushed forward, something not human. I did the only thing I could think of. I ran at the glass doors with full force. They shattered. The alarm exploded. I hit the ground outside hard, rolled, and kept running until my lungs burned. I didn't look back. Within a week, I moved across the country. I changed my phone number, deleted my old email, scrubbed my social media. But 2 months later, a new email arrived. No sender. No subject. You didn't clock out. I deleted it. It came back. Then another. You're still an employee. You belong here. Come back. 3 nights ago, my smart home camera notified me of motion in the hallway at 2:13 a.m. When I checked the footage, I froze. A tall figure stood outside my bedroom door, head tilted, eyes black, shadow distorted. Shift starts soon, it whispered. The screen glitched. Static. Then just one clear frame. Daniel's face staring directly into the camera. Smiling. I don't think I ever escaped Blue Ridge. I think it just let me leave. For now.